Let's talk about your comfort zone. Yeah, the thing that nobody likes to cross, that boundary, right? Comfort zone. I want to stay comfortable. It's warm in here. The water's warm. Don't make me go out there. It's cold and dangerous and people could laugh at me. Your comfort zone is an interesting place because it's where most of us spend the majority of our time. I know I spend a lot of time there. If you're not progressing and moving along in your life fast enough, it's because you're spending too much time in your comfort zone. I can almost guarantee it. If you're okay, so let's look at what the phrase means. Comfort zone. What do we do when we're comfortable? What is comfort? Comfort is like, when you snuggle up under a warm blanket. Comfort is safety. Comfort is no risk, right? Because you're comfortable, you're safe, you're protected. It's a little harbor. Let's look at it reminds me of a marina. I used to work at a marina and I'd rent out boats on a dock. And they have these little barriers. So when the winds come out in the lake, it's a huge lake, it was a resort. We had these little fishing boats, and the winds would come out in the lake, and it could topple boats over. It'd white cap. It's called the white capping. The waves would white cap, and they'd become pretty big, and they'd push the boats around. So when it was white capping, we wouldn't allow the boats to go out on the water. But in the marina, where the boats would dock, there was a barrier with a little entry where you'd go out into the lake, and it's very common. You see this in a lot of places where the marina has that barrier, and that protects the marina from the crazy waves. So the waves will splash all around in that lake, but in the marina it'll be safe and calm. It's a comfort zone, right? Those boats, they're not going to slam against each other. They're not going to get toppled over. They're not going to get ruined or anything like they would out in the lake. Okay, that's your comfort zone, so it's safe. Now, the downside or the price tag, I guess, of safe is that there's no risk and therefore no reward. Or I should say very little. Maybe there's some reward. So let's say that you wanted to go fishing, and you don't want to risk those big waves. So you want to stay in the marina where it's safe, where it's a comfort zone. You go out the dock, and there's this little area, this little marina. Sure, there's fish in there. They're called minnows. You're not going to catch anything worthwhile inside the marina, right? You have to go out to the lake. You have to go past that barrier, get in a little rowboat, and risk a storm coming, white caps, waves, or risk any other number of risks. In fact, in this lake where I was working, the deeper the water, the bigger the chances of the bigger the fish you were likely to catch. Again, we caught some pretty big fish. I didn't catch very many big fish. I caught a few, but I would see when fishermen would come in, huge fish, Mackinaw trout, German brown, all kinds of beautiful, beautiful fish. And I would always ask, well, where did you catch it? And a lot of times, more often than not, they're trolling or they're bait fishing or doing any number of different types of fishing, but they're doing it in deeper water so that bigger fish go down deep. So you got to get out there. They had to get outside of the marina, crank up the engine, the little engine that could. Those boats don't go very fast. Cross the lake, 10 miles an hour, whatever it is, and put themselves out there. Now, is it a huge risk? No, you're just driving across the lake. But there's a principle taught here that applies to your life and mine as seekers of success. If we don't get outside of our little safe comfort zone, our little box. What's your box? You get in your car, you drive to work, you do your little thing at your cubicle, and you get back in, go to your lunch break, you get back in, go back to work, you walk through the parking lot. There's this trail. We go back and forth, home to work, work to home to work to home, back and forth, right? This little box that we live in. And we shake hands with a few people, we interact. Hi, how you doing? Good day. Yeah, water cooler chat, few meetings, and then back home where, wow, I braved the outside world, close the door, lock it, Now I'm in my safe home, safe harbor. Here we go. Netflix time, dinner, Netflix, and go to bed. All right, anything wrong with that? No, you can make a good living doing that, of course. Doesn't make you a bad person. But that is a comfort zone. And nothing great happens inside the walls of your comfort zone. It's not going to happen. Nothing great happens inside the walls of your comfort zone. If you're working out and you want to build muscle, you have to push yourself to pain. That's not comfortable. I have a shirt, one of my workout shirts, says be uncomfortable, or be comfortable with the uncomfortable. In other words, be uncomfortable so often that you're comfortable with it, which doesn't really even make any sense if you think about it, because if you're uncomfortable, you're not comfortable, because if you get uncomfortable enough, you become comfortable with it, then the uncomfortable isn't uncomfortable any longer. Anyways, don't think too deep. I guess what they're trying to say is, be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is good in sports, in weightlifting, in fishing, in any number of areas, in success in life. Uncomfortable means you're moving yourself forward. You're stretching yourself to a new idea, a new way of thinking, a new habit, a new routine. Maybe you're setting goals differently. I gotta talk about this, right? If you haven't heard about this yet, this is my goal setting program, 3x5goals.com. Everything that I teach here has to do with this in some fundamental kind of a way. And a lot of things that I'm teaching here are things that I learned because of this system. It doesn't mean I learned from this system, but this system set me up to learn. If you want to know more about how this works, just go to 3x5goals.com. You'll find out all kinds of information. But goals are good stuff. Routines are good stuff. Habits, they're all great stuff. And if you don't get outside of your comfort zone, at least regularly, you want to be there every day, ideally. And you'll know because your heart will pump faster. You'll feel butterflies. Your hands will get a little sweaty. You get a little nervous. You'll put a little bit more into your presentation because you'll be like, oh, this is kind of a big deal. Those are moments that are outside of your comfort zone. Pay attention to those. Have more of those and welcome them. They are opportunities for epic failure. That's one way you can know if it's outside of your comfort zone. You want those. Why? If you fail, you learn. You can't lose either way, right? But it will stretch you and it will grow you. Guys, I can't say it enough. Get outside your comfort zone. Do something great today. And then write it down in your goal sheet. And then share it with me. I'd love to hear all about it.